I had an epiphany this morning. So this morning I got up, I went to the gym, and I'm feeling great. I had a full night of sleep because I didn't even live stream yesterday, so I was feeling great on that front. And as I was going through and I was lining up the different people that I felt like was worthy of me responding to, shout out to the Shoemake Way. I'm definitely gonna be visiting you soon. Um, you know, most of the things that we got going on in society is self-inflicted wounds. And then we also have to be our brother's keeper. Yeah, we got to be our brother's keeper. And the reason why it's necessary for us to be our brother's keeper is because sometimes, now you got a few different categories of people. Some people don't know any better, meaning they operate out of ignorance, but they're not completely absolved from being responsible for the things that's happening to them. And the reason that they're not absolved from being responsible for the things that happen to them is because the children are the ones that pay for the sins of their parents. Let me say that again. The children are the ones that pay for the sins of their parents. So what I do ultimately is going to affect my daughter. And then that's when you then start to get a generational curse, right? It's not about the things that happen before you. It's about whether or not you can break the generational curses. But in order for us to do that, we have to remove the excuses so two things can be true at the same time. First, thank you, J. Ben. I'm definitely going to be having that conversation soon. First, you have to be able to hold accountable the people that did you dirty. Now, Anton didn't do you dirty. Anton is the one that just called out the atrocious behavior that then forced you to rethink how it is that you live in, and then it forced you at that point to then go back and look at how you got there in the first place. How you got there is not just because of what you said and what you did in your own self-inflicted wounds. That's a part of it. It's a large part of it. But another part of it is you got to break the generational curses by understanding how you got there in the first place. People that came before us, the generations before us, the X's, the boomers, all of those people, they hid all of the things that was going on in their lives, and they lied to us. And they said, oh no, everything was great. But they was going through it too. And everything was very, very bad on that front, right? And so now we got to go in and we got to uncover all of those skeletons. Mama had a baby out of wedlock. Mama was cheating on daddy, even though daddy was with her the whole time. We didn't have all of the technology that we have today. And so now you got to go back and you realize if you go to Ancestry and you start to do your DNA test, wait a minute, your father ain't really your father. So now you're operating under the guise that things are, but they aren't, right? But does that absolve you from being responsible for who you are? Absolutely not, because you still got a life to live. So mama put you under duress. I get it. I understand. That's the part that we acknowledge. Then what you gonna do? Now you got to make the adjustment. And the first thing that you have to do in making the adjustment, they going to tell you to take accountability. They going to tell you also to hold your mama accountable. I agree with all of that, but that's not the first thing. The first thing that you have to do is you have to remove the emotion from how you feel about the situation so you can make a better decision. That's what your mama taught you. This is what your daddy didn't tell you. That's what your mama taught you. That's what your daddy didn't tell you. In order to be successful in life, listen, there's a method, there's a way. You can follow any way you want to. You can follow any content creator you want to. You can follow Dave Ramsey. You can follow me. You can follow Anthony O'Neill. You can follow, I don't care who you follow. You can follow anyone you want to. The first thing that you got to do is you got to remove the emotions so that you can make a logical decision. If not, you're always going to crash out. Let me solve for something really quickly. You're always going to crash out. Before you can get to the money, you got to fix the character flaws. You got to fix the issues. You got to fix the issues within yourself. We've conditioned ourselves to make emotional decisions on a regular basis, and that's how you crash out. Because it only takes 1 minute to crash out. It only takes a second, a split decision, for everything to go. You can fight your whole life. You can work, you can grind, you can hustle, you can condition yourself. You can do the right thing for the next 10 years. And it only take 1 minute to mess it all up. An emotional decision to mess it all up. And it can all go down the drain. We watch it every single day. One situation, one circumstance, one flaw, one issue. The greater you become, the bigger the stakes are. The greater you become, the bigger the stakes are. All right? So you can do the work. Go back and then hold your parents accountable. Cool. Then fix yourself. Awesome. You can get into a marriage. You can get into corporate America. It takes one situation to ruin your whole thing. You can go off, haul off, and hit somebody. Next thing you know, you catch a felony, you go to jail, your record is ruined, and you'll never be able to get the opportunities that you would have had you not held yourself together. Say the wrong thing, get emotional over a woman, don't have any dick discipline. Next thing you know, she the chick that's going to ruin your life for the rest of your life. You tied to her for the next 18 years. Find yourself out in the streets. You're making a lot of money. You leveled up and you're in corporate America. You started your business. Have one situation where you then ruin the reputation of your business because your business is not now tied to you. When we talk about the women that you marry, one bad decision in marrying the wrong woman because she's a representation of you, she can ruin your entire life. We see it happen with the turkey leg hut. We see it happen with businesses all the time. One wrong person you align with from a business perspective, they ruin your whole life. Accountability is only one part of the equation. Accountability is only one part of the equation. You got to do the work. You got to be successful, right? Who you align yourself with, your friends that you're taking with you. Think about who you're surrounding yourself with right now. Are they built to go down that road with you? When we talk about relationships is very much parallel to what you do from a financial perspective. How you operate in one thing is how you're supposed to operate in everything. When you look at the friends that you're surrounding yourself with, right? A lot of people say, well, I'll make the adjustment when I get there. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're going to fail. You're going to fall. They're going to take you under. The very friends that you hanging out with right now are the ones that's going to be there with you when you level up. Guess what? They not leveling up also. The things that they say that they do, that's friendship, is not ideal for what it is that you need in order to be successful. It don't mean that they bad people, but it means that y'all growing in two different directions. It means that y'all growing in two different directions. Don't get distracted. Never make an emotional decision. Always be careful. Be very, very, very careful with what it is that you're doing. Don't find yourself reacting. Life is 10% of what happens to you, 90% of how you react to it. Life is 10% of what happens to you, 90% is how you react to it. You know, let me give you one example, a little small example. I remember one time, people came to me, right? And they said, Anton, angry man, you an angry man, y'all must be beefing. Angry man is this, angry man is saying this and that. And I said, you know what? Interesting. So I went over and I went and checked out Angry Man, and Angry Man had all love for me. And then we wound up connecting. We wound up connecting in Detroit. He flew to Detroit. We kicked it. We made some great content. Me and Angry Man is friends right now. That's my guy. That's my dog. That's my dog. Real talk. Life is 10% of what happens to you, 90% of how you react to it. Never make an emotional decision. You stay cool, you stay calm, collect. As a matter of fact, for all of my fellas that's watching this right now, let me say this. For all of my fellas that's watching this right now, I want you to understand this. All right? Make sure that whenever you feel in a certain way, you sleep on it. Anything that you do, this is one of the number one things that you should do. The number one things that you should do. Whenever you feel in a certain way, whenever things is happening, whenever you feel like you got a purchase that you want to make, no matter what it is that you do, make sure you sleep on it. Make sure you sleep on it. If you want to buy a car, you go in a dealership and it seems like they offering you a good deal and you can get the car right now, don't do it. Sleep on it. If you think it's a woman that you want to get at and this is just too good to be true and all of this, and she just, don't do it. Sleep on it. If she not there in the morning, if she not available, a day or two after that, don't trip on it. It wasn't yours in the first place. If the dealer is telling you, hey man, I can get you this car right now, isn't it? That car ain't going nowhere. Ain't nobody else trying to buy it over you. Sleep on it. Everything that you do not be pressured. Do not make an immediate decision. Do not make an emotional decision. Don't do any of that. Sleep on it. Every single decision that you make, sleep on it. Don't ever make an immediate decision or an emotional decision, even when it comes to arguments, even when it comes to problems in corporate America. Do not react under no circumstances. I don't care how you feel. And listen, emotions are for everybody. Everybody has emotions. Everybody get passionate. Everybody feel a certain type of way about a lot of things. Your boss gonna say something to you. You don't react. You don't go in and say something. You just chill. Okay, you know what? I hear you. Absolutely, I'm gonna take that into consideration. And you sleep on it. Chill, cool heads prevail, because when you sleep on it and you cool and you calm, guess what happens? You control the situation. You control it. When people say stuff or people throw videos and stuff like that, I don't react immediately. I sleep on that junk. If somebody say something out of line, I don't jump out the window. And the inside, you may be angry. If something say somebody to piss you off, you find out that you may be flustered at the wrong thing. It could not even be true. It might not even be true. Or the person may not even meant it that way. Or the person may have said something in jest. Most misunderstandings, 98, 99% of misunderstandings come from people overreacting to a lot of things that don't even mean what you thought that it meant. So you just sit on it, sleep on it. And everything that you do it strategically. Everything that you do it strategically. Never, ever, under any circumstance, make an emotional decision. Ever. All right? Come on, y'all. We got to grow up. We got to be adults. Y'all ready to get to it?